We've all been there. Maybe you've been playing for a little bit. You started off, you know, you weren't playing the best. You didn't really know how to throw a frisbee or a disc. And then you started to learn a little bit how. Then you started to throw a little bit farther. And then all of a sudden, you just started to throw less far. And then you started to come down a little bit. And then now you have like a cap to where you used to be able to think you threw farther than you do now. You're in a slump and you can't break a certain distance. I was in the same place. We're here at Z Boas Park in Fort Worth, Texas today. I know for me, the whole distance thing definitely got me to look into my form, like on YouTube videos, different things, just go through all the YouTube videos about form and try and figure out what exactly I'm doing wrong. Is there anything that somebody else is doing different? Because disc golf form is kind of weird because there is like an exact form, but then you look at the pros and some of them look so different than the others. Their forms look so different than the other pros. So like, is there an exact form or not? Is like what I ask myself a lot. I see this player doing this thing differently than this player, and I'm like, oh, then I add that to my form, how I throw. I almost got an ace. If you watched my video on Monday and you saw, I actually played pretty decent. It was a lot of talking, but if you pay attention to the round, I played pretty well. And I found out that when I'm recording videos, I try really hard to be a good disc golfer, because you have to play good disc golf to have like a disc golf YouTube channel, or else like, who's gonna wanna watch you? You don't have to be the best in the world, but you can't be the worst. You can't be hitting trees on every drive. But in my video yesterday, I wasn't really focused on like the disc golf. I was more focused on talking about my channel. And I was kind of just playing also while I was recording that video. Something that Pops and I joke about is that the camera adds 5 strokes. And that's been true. I don't know what it is. I think it's just, since we're making a video, we want to perform well. And something I found is when you focus super hard on something, this isn't true about all things, but when you focus super hard on something, it makes it really, like, if you hyper focus on it, you lose sight of like why you're, you know, like, why am I correcting my form? Why am I learning every intricate detail about disc golf form so I can throw farther? If it's not making you throw farther, then what do you do? If you're wondering why I haven't seen this course on my channel yet, because I've been avoiding it. But going with the theme of this video, I don't care how I play. And look, I'm actually like playing decent. This is a good drive. I like to be up the hill, but sometimes I don't get there. Play this one for par. I'm never sure how far it is up here, like how far it is up the cliff. Ah, come on. Ah, baby. But see, we're not gonna let that putt get in our head, you know? We don't need to birdie this to make up for that bogey. Sorry, it's freaking cold out. But something that I did, and I think a lot of you guys do, is you watch these YouTube videos. I'm not gonna say the names. You know all the disc golf coaches. You know the guys that teach you form on YouTube. You go and watch their videos, and then you take all that knowledge and you come up to the tee pad. Instead of being like throwing normal, you know how to throw a frisbee. You come up here, you know, you throw a frisbee. But now you're like this, you know, and like you're super awkward trying to make sure you're like flicking your hips super fast to get that quick snap. Be a little more intuitive. Use your intuition a little bit. You do want to be fast, but also make it fluid and make it feel nice. Make it feel right. Now, I hit the cage on a short putt last time. I know that I have to get the putt up. I'm not gonna hyper focus way higher on the basket and overcorrect. I'm gonna hit the band then, you know? So I talk to myself, hey, you gotta get it up a little bit more. And then I talk back to myself, yeah, Owen, I'm not a dummy, I know. If you know you need to get it up, you don't have to make your aim point super high now. It could have been a number. As I say that, that's so funny because I'm talking about it. It's crazy. You can cue yourself way more than you think. Like I said, don't focus on the band too hard. And as I was talking about not focusing on the band, I was focusing on the band because like I was talking about it. And then when I put it in, I hit the band directly on. When like my 2-year-old niece could like throw the disc in from there, you know? So like, I'm overthinking it, obviously. You know that yellow driver that I just threw on the last hole? It was a Invamade S-Line PD. I looked for it for about 30 minutes. I don't know where the heck it went. So that's super fun. I probably should have thrown a mid there. Speaking of that, I'm gonna throw a mid here. I'm correcting like my discs now, right? It's a little bit different than correcting your form. When you throw, you want your form to be as consistent as possible. You want to be able to do the same thing over and over and over. That way when you take a new disc out, you have a baseline to do it from. This is a one fade, right? I know if this goes slightly straight and like barely to the left, that a 2 fade disc should push out straight and fade a little harder to the left, a little harder than this one. If you're changing up your form a bunch, then what's the point of having different discs? The upshot was a little weird. I'm experimenting on like powering down a little bit, giving it like a little more height and a little bit more nose up angle when giving it like a bid, so I don't shoot too far past the basket, but I can still, you know, maybe it goes in, you know? Good grab. Raise your hand if you've ever thrown a disc in the ground. You've thought really hard about your form. You've been maybe playing bad like the round, and then you're like, okay, I really need to get this one up in the air. And the next throw you do, you just worm burn it and nose dive like right into the ground. I've done that. Now also raise your hand if you have a ball in your hand. And if you want to throw it just out there, just out into that field somewhere. How many times are you going to throw it out in that field versus how many times are you going to like, whoops, throw it into the ground? Yeah, it's because you know how to throw a ball and you don't have to think about it. You just kind of throw the ball. Same thing with disc golf. Once you learn the disc golf form, you know it. You do know it, whether you think so or not. Then you just gotta go out and practice it. If you like mess up or throw a bad shot, don't think it's because like it's your form. Maybe it could be a number of things. I know it may sound a lot easier said than done, but go to like professional disc golfers that play for a long time. They'll tell you that hyper focusing on things like that is not good, because then you're gonna get in your head. If you throw a low shot, then you're gonna be like, okay, next time I have to throw it higher, and then you get up on the next tee pad and you're hyper focused at that height. If you don't hit that height, if it still goes that level that you were throwing before, you're gonna get frustrated, and you're never gonna correct it, because you're just gonna be frustrated over and over. Hey, do you guys like that scooper? I don't even know how to putt this. Everything in the way. Maybe another scoop? Yes, let's go. Shout out Brody Smith, man. I think people overlook confidence when they talk about form and talk about getting distance. Confidence is something that's talked about a little bit. You'll hear it around for sure, confidence. I think people take form a lot more seriously than confidence. And think about it. I have a flippy putter, I have an overstable putter here. If I throw this putter on hyzer soft, then it's gonna just hold the line. If I throw this putter, this zone on hyzer soft, it's also going to have a similar shot. May not push as far as this disc. Say I release both of these discs flat now. I give full power on everything. This disc is gonna go straight for a really long time, and then it's gonna like finish slightly left. This disc is gonna come and turn. So if I'm not fully confident in my shot, and I'm not fully unloading, fully throwing at the power that I want to be throwing into all of my shots, then I'm doing myself a disservice, you know? Because if I throw this disc really slow, because I can throw it harder, but if I lighten up on it and I throw it slow, right, then why don't I just throw this disc harder? I want to start seeing some confident rips out of you boys and girls. Might be able to see it from there. Looks like I have two routes. I can go to the left side or the right side, maybe. Trying to check over here, seeing if I have a clearing. Not really. Dang it, I wanted some more turn on it, but I didn't want to breeze by the basket. I didn't want to fade out too early, but I did anyway. There's my second shot. That would have been a lot better. Should I just throw another scoop for like giggles? Or should I really try and make this putt? I think I'll really try. This is attainable. Oh! Man, if I just would have taken my second tee shot, I would have gone from birdie, or from bogey to birdie. What the heck? What the heck? So here on this hole, you have stuff on your left and on your right. You don't want to go either way. So instead of like hyper focusing like a line, like down the middle, like I have to make it down the middle or else. I know how to throw a frisbee to an area. I can throw it up to that gap, right? Easy, no problem. I'm just gonna throw it through the gap. I know how to do that. And I'm aiming for somewhere down there. That helps too. If you aim for, like when you're aiming at stuff, don't like try and like hit your line exactly. Like don't envision a line in your head, and if it strays away from that line, your shot's bad. I had a problem doing that. So I'm just gonna confidently rip one up there. How about that? I think I put on some ante or it held turn. We're up there and we didn't go left or right into the trees. Here we go, not a bad shot. Like I said, I've been avoiding this course because, man, birdies are tough here. Birdies are tough to grab. I'm used to playing a bunch of short courses where if I don't birdie, then I get upset. Confidence will take you a long way. Don't be overconfident, because then you're gonna start throwing bad shots also. But like, know your abilities, you know that you know how to throw things, objects, whether it's a frisbee or not. And know that you have the human strength to get a frisbee out far. Most of it is technique, but you know the technique, you have to keep the disc flat. Obviously, if you're one of those people that lines up super robotic, you know the form. So now, if you're one of those people, just like kind of shake it off. Do me a favor and shake it off. And on the next time you throw, and throw how you want to throw. Throw like what feels good. Forget about disc golf form. Just throw how it feels good, and then correct from there. You're just throwing how it feels good. You might hyzer out the first time, right? You might like put on way too much hyzer, but then you're like, oh, okay, I just need to get the disc flatter. And now you're at the point where you know how to do that fairly easy. So then that's the only change you make, and then there you go, you grip it and rip it and you're comfortable. And it's going farther because you're comfortable. But I think this is the last hole I'm gonna play here at this course. I'm playing more this afternoon for some more videos for my channel. But hopefully the insight on things that I learned that I had to like struggle with in my game and go through, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight that can help you with your game, I hope. Because I know it wasn't until I clicked on a YouTube video and I heard someone say something that it clicked for me. So hopefully I'm saying something that might click for somebody. Maybe you're just like super frustrated with your game right now. Disc golf is a fun sport. It's meant to be fun. I was one of those people that was taking it too serious to the point where it was making me play bad, and then it would make me unhappy. But if I kind of just relax and I have fun with it, I actually end up playing way better than I ever would have if I would have tried to shoot like the best score ever. Whenever I go out just to have fun, I usually play my best. I really like that flight on this Hades. I've been trying to throw flippier discs, you know, improve my game. See, that first putt was not confident. It was all high and stuff. That second putt was, you could tell it was a lot more like right at it. Confidence is key. Confidence is key. Don't get in your own head about your form, because you know how to throw a disc by now. Probably if you're watching disc golf YouTube videos, you probably watched at least 1 or 2 on how to throw a disc. You've watched 1 or 2 on form, and when you go up to the tee pads, you recycle that info in your head over and over and over and over. And there needs to be a time when that stops, or else you're not gonna enjoy the sport. And honestly, you're not gonna improve, because if you're not having fun, you're not gonna wanna improve. It's funny, it kinda links up a little bit roughly to my video yesterday. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not gonna wanna keep doing it. So if you're just beating yourself up about your form, sure, one day you might throw far, but probably if you're sitting there getting mad about your form and not throwing far enough, you're probably never gonna throw far enough, because you'll always think like, oh, I can throw farther than that, than that, than that. Just have fun, and eventually you'll throw far. Know the form. Don't overthink it. Know it, but don't overthink it to the point where it makes you throw worse. Anyways, guys, that's enough for me today. Stay tuned from Starter Set Showdown. The Elite 8 is coming soon. If you don't know what Starter Set Showdown is, Starter Set Showdown is we take starter sets for disc golf discs from different manufacturers and we put them up against each other. We have 8 winners now, and since we have 8 winners, we're gonna put those head to head. We're gonna figure out what manufacturer really makes the best starter set. I also have Bag Battle and Weekly Tee. Stay tuned for those. I want to do more videos like this outside of Weekly Tee. Weekly Tee is kind of like a hangout and talk and chat, and it's more chill. I kind of want to do more videos like one-on-one, tripod and camera, me going out and talking about disc golf, kind of like my game and how I've gotten my game to the point where it is. Maybe some tips that you guys want to know. Like I said, if it's like hardcore form advice, I really don't want to do it. If this video told you anything, I really don't want to be that coach. If it's like technique or anything, I'm not gonna do a full in-depth technique video. But if you do want to know something, comment it please, because maybe there'll be a video that it will go with, and then I'll put your comment in that video and kind of address it too. But you stay on the lookout for those. I'm gonna go upload these videos to my computer and then head out for some more rounds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye.